Okay, ladies and gentlemen, can you hear my voice? Hello? Okay, yeah, I think you can hear my voice because, uh, yes, thank you. Okay, let's begin the agenda this afternoon. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone, distinguished speakers, respected professor and lecturers, and of course, dear participants. Welcome to the guest speaker session of the International Seminar on Mathematics Education. So let me introduce myself first. My name is Bill Khairi Rizky Bustaren, and it's my pleasure to become MC and also a moderator for this session in this afternoon. I hope everyone has been enjoying the seminar so far this morning and come to this session this afternoon. I am very pleased to have you with us this afternoon. But before we begin, let me briefly explain how this session will run. So each guest speaker, we have two speakers, Ms. Rizky Nur Hasana and Ms. Faizah Nurwita. Uh, each speaker will have approximately about 10 to 12 minutes for the presentation. And after that, we have 2 to 3 minutes question and answer session. So to all participants, please feel free to prepare your question while listening to the presentation. Okay, now let us begin with our first speakers. I will introduce our speaker for the first. She is Miss Nurrizky Hasana. So she is currently a doctoral student in mathematics education study program at Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia. As you can see at her CV, she is an awardee of PMDSU, Masters to Doctoral Extra Relations Scholarship from the Indonesian Ministry of Higher Education, and also participated in the International Publication Quality Improvement Program or PKPI at University of Canberra, Australia. Her research interests, as you can see from her publication, include STEM education, ethnomathematics, mathematical reflective thinking, cultural sustainability, and the integration of technology, including also there are augmented reality into mathematics learning. So, without taking any more of her presentation time, Ms. Nuriski Hasana, time is yours.
Thank you very much for the time. Uh, Apakah suara saya terdengar?
Yes, yes, I can hear your voice, but I cannot see your face.
Okay, sorry. I'm in Dermaga Sunda right now with Dr. Modi and Prof. Siti, so I'm sorry. So, if I think I can to show and start the video. So I will only audio. It's okay?
It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Please start your presentation. Thank you.
Can you please to show my presentation or
Okay.
my PPT?
Yes. Operator, please share presentation of Miss Nuriski Hasana. Okay. Okay, we can see your presentation. Yes, Miss Nuriski Hasana, feel free to start your presentation.
Sorry, can you hear my voice?
Yes, yes, yes. I can see your voice. I can
Okay,
hear your voice. Yes.
okay. I will continue my presentation. Good afternoon, participants. Thank you for the invitation. In this short 15-minute talk, I focus on one part of my dissertation, the conceptual bridge between STEM education and mathematics. My dissertation is about developing STEM-based five learning systems. I'm sorry, is it free? Ini suaranya kedengaran nggak ya?
Actually, it's not clear. Putus-putus, Miss Nuriski. It's okay. Yeah, I think she moved to another place, right? We will wait for a moment.
Sorry, sir. Uh, I will continue my presentation. Yeah, I focus on one part of my dissertation, the conceptual bridge between STEM education and mathematics. Yeah, my dissertation is about developing STEM-based 5-year learning model integrated with mathematics to improve property thinking skills and cultural sustainability ethics. Today, I will not report final empirical results. I will focus on why STEM and mathematics can be brought together to design culturally sustainable mathematics curriculum. Next, okay, I position this presentation as a bridge. The earlier keynote topics remind us that shared design learning environment and that mathematics becomes powerful when it models real phenomena. My contribution is to add one more dimension, culture. I ask how STEM learning can be integrated in local cultural practice and how as mathematics can make mathematics learning not only meaningful but also culturally sustainable. Okay, next. Okay, the challenge is that STEM and culture are often treated separately. STEM learning may be innovative but culturally neutral. Cultural learning may be meaningful but not always mathematically rigid. The bridge I propose is not to replace formal mathematics with culture and not to use culture as ornament. The bridge is to design mathematics learning where local culture becomes the context for inquiry, mathematical modeling, technological visualization, and engineering design. Next, and what STEM contributes? In this framework, STEM contributes the process. Science helps students observe phenomena and ask evidence-based questions. Technology gives tools for visualization and access. Engineering gives the design cycle, read, test, and improve. Mathematics gives modeling, measurement, calculation, and justification. Therefore, STEM is not simply for labels placed on a lesson plan. It's a way of organizing inquiry and decision making while meaningful problems. Okay, next. What ethnomathematics contributes? Ethnomathematics contributes cultural meaning. It encourages us to see that mathematical ideas are also present in how people design, build, measure, decorate, organize space, and solve practical problems. In my framework, cultural artifacts are not used as decoration. They become source for mathematical investigation. This is why ethnomathematics can support culturally sustainable learning. Students doesn't Students don't only learn geometry, they also learn to value knowledge embedded in their cultural environment. Next, okay, the bridge, a conceptual framework, can be summarized like this. STEM provides the process, inquiry, design, technology, and modeling. Ethnomathematics provides the context and value-based cultural artifacts, local knowledge, and identity. When connected, they produce mathematics learning that is both rigorous and rooted. The expected direction is not only whether problem solving but also reflexive thinking and cultural sustainability attitude. Next, again, a model logic 5E as the learning architecture. Yeah, my dissertation model used the 5 learning cycle as the learning architecture. Engage begins with the cultural situation. Sorry, uh, can you back to the uh, slide, the earlier slide? Slide 5. So yeah, okay. Okay, my dissertation model used the 5 learning cycle. Oh, sorry, my dissertation model used the 5 learning cycle as the learning architecture. Engage begins with the cultural situation, explore students to investigate with STEM tools, explain support students to construct mathematical meaning, and elaborate move them toward design and application. And at the evaluate step, students will ask to reflect on both the mathematical solution and cultural sustainability. Importantly, the cycle is flexible. Explore and explain can be repeated because students often need more than one round of investigation and clarification before they are ready to design a solution. Next, okay, this slide illustrated how the bridge can work in one lesson. The lesson starts from a cultural artifact. For example, a student's cultural structure or object. Students identify mathematical features such as shape, measurement, surface area, volume, and or symmetry. Then they use STEM processes, measurement, digital visualization, engineering, reasoning, and mathematical modeling. Lesson can end with a design challenge, but also with reflection. What strategy works? What evidence supports our solution? How does our design respect cultural meaning? Next, okay, the contribution to mathematics education. The contribution of this framework is conceptual but practical. For students, it makes mathematics accessible in their own world. For teachers, it offers a design logic, start from culture, investigate through STEM, formalize mathematics, design or apply, and reflect. For curriculum, it suggests that STEM and culture should not compete. Instead, they can strengthen each other. A culturally sustainable STEM mathematics lesson asks not only whether students can solve a problem, but the problem means for their community and their future. Next, okay. I close with three takeaways. First, STEM gives the process for inquiry, design, and modeling. Second, mathematics gives the root by connecting mathematics with culture, identity, and sustainability. Third, the bridge can become a stronger model for mathematics learning, one that improves reflective thinking while honoring local knowledge. Okay, thank you, moderator. I welcome your question and suggestion for all participants. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, thank you for Ms. Rizky Nur Hasana for your insightful presentation. It's a very good presentation about STEM education and ethnomathematics. Yeah. Okay, now we have some times for question and answer session. Maybe some of you want to ask in Bahasa Indonesia is also okay. Silahkan Bapak Ibu, barangkali ada yang ingin bertanya mengenai presentasi dari Ibu Nuriski Hasanah. Boleh raise hand atau di open mic saja, dipersilakan. Iya, yeah. As we thought, it's very clear presentation, right? Okay. Okay. I think that there is no question for Mr. Nuriski Hasana for her presentation. So I will conclude that Ms. Nuriski right now present about STEM education and how to connect it with ethnomathematics here. And it is a very good presentation. As you can see that STEM is basically a context-based learning. And with ethnomathematics, you can see that the context is based on the culture, based on what we have in Indonesia. And it is a very good explanation for us. Okay, I would like to thank to Ms. Rizky Nur Hasana. Miss Rizky, are you still there? Hello? Yeah, I think Miss Rizky lost the connection again. Yeah, it's okay. Thank you for the presentation, Miss Nuriski. Okay, right now we will move to the second speaker. I will introduce our second speaker. Operator, please share the CV of our second speaker. So our second speaker, her name is Faizah Nurwita. So she is currently also a doctoral student in Mathematics Education Study Program at Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia. Her research has particularly explored the development and use of technology-based mathematics learning, including Android-based application and digital learning environment with a focus on mathematical computational thinking and problem-solving skills, I think. She has also actively participated as a presenter in several national and international academic conferences, as you can see in her CV. So I think that's a brief introduction of Faizah Nurwita. So Miss Faizah Nurwita, time is yours.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Chairi Rizky. Good afternoon. Apakah suara saya masuk dengan jelas? Mungkin nanti di sesi saya bilingual ya. Apa ya? Ya.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
It's very clearly. Yes.
Mohon izin share screen. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good afternoon, honorable speakers. and everyone joining us today. Thank you very much to Department of Mathematics Education for inviting me. Today, I like to share how project-based learning integrated with STEM learning design can help students move from mathematical concepts toward engineering solutions while keeping the mathematics visible throughout the process. Okay, purpose of this presentation to explore how PJBL STEM can transform engineering design into a meaningful context for mathematics learning, and students move from understanding concept and to using mathematical thinking and developing solutions. And the next, the central challenge is not simply to place mathematics inside a project. If students build first and explain later, mathematics might become decorative. The alternative is a mathematics-led sequence. Students explore, reason, design, test, and revise. The project then creates a genuine need for mathematics. Jadi maksudnya ketika dari beberapa banyak studi terkait pembelajaran berbasis proyek yang dibangun ini baru sebatas untuk membangun kemudian menjelaskan, dan ketika akhirnya memasukkan dalam STEM education gitu ya, ada science kemudian ada mathematics di mana ada proses berpikir matematis yang diterapkan di dalam proses pembelajaran, ada eksplorasi kemudian menemukan alasan dari konsep matematis, kemudian siswa merancang atau mendesain suatu proyek atau rekayasa atau prototipe, dan kemudian akan merevisi kembali prototipe tersebut. Dan di sini ada proses berpikir matematis berdasarkan dari pemahaman matematis atau proses berpikir matematisnya tersebut. Jadi yang membedakan dari proyek yang pada umumnya atau PJBL dan PJBL STEM. Kemudian di next berikutnya gitu ya, why mathematics learning needs this bridge. The learning problem begins with a gap. Mathematics can feel abstract and procedural. Apalagi banyak dengan siswa kita gitu ya, dan beberapa studi yang mengatakan terkait kecemasan matematis, kemudian terkait matematika itu menakutkan gitu ya, dengan simbol atau prosedural atau konsep yang abstrak, dan siswa gitu ya pada akhirnya perlu memahami dari lingkungan di kehidupannya sehari-hari untuk akhirnya bisa mempelajari matematika itu sendiri. And this requires both cognitive process and the resilience to continue when an initial strategy does not work. And the mathematical concept remains the core. Engineering design provides a context for application. The product matters, but is not the primary learning outcome. It becomes valuable when it provides evidence of the relationships. Students recognize the representation they use, the decisions they made, and the revisions they justified. Jadi ketika siswa pada awalnya sudah memahami terkait pemahaman dari konsep matematis, ketika siswa mengeksplorasi, mengidentifikasi hubungan atau antar polanya, kemudian merepresentasikan dan memberikan alasan dari proyek yang dikembangkan, kemudian berlanjut dari pemahaman konsep tersebut ke konteks engineering dan mengaplikasikan, membuat suatu keputusan, kemudian juga menguji dan trial and error untuk merevisi dari prototipe tersebut, dan produk di sini adalah bukti dari students mathematical thinking atau berpikir proses matematis siswa. Nah, what count as mathematical thinking in this presentation? Mathematical thinking have 5 points. The first, analyze, interpret the problem, information, and constraints. The second, represent, use coordinates, diagrams, symbols, and transformation rules. And the third relate connect patterns, properties, invariance, and design features. And the fourth strategies formulate, compare, and sequence possible approach. And the fifth evaluate the results, identify errors, justify, and revise. Di sini pertama siswa untuk menganalisis terlebih dahulu dari masalah yang ada di kehidupan sehari-harinya. Kemudian siswa menggunakan pemahaman konsep matematisnya dengan diagram, simbol, aturan transformasi, karena di sini konteks yang akan dijelaskan berikutnya adalah prototipe jembatan. Jadi yang digunakan materi pada matematikanya adalah transformasi geometri. Kemudian menghubungkan pola, properti, dan desain dari prototipe tersebut, dan memformulasikan atau membandingkan nanti dari beberapa jenis-jenis jembatan atau beberapa jenis ide-ide atau rancangannya yang pada akhirnya dipilih desain yang terbaik, dan kemudian evaluasi untuk menguji dari hasil prototipenya tersebut. Dan untuk mengembangkan kemampuan berpikir matematis tadi gitu ya, ada model PJBL STEM, we say PJBL STEM, and have five phases yang saling berkaitan gitu ya, dan hierarkis gitu ya: reflection, research, discovery, application, and communication. Reflection, konteks and priors idea, di mana siswa untuk merangsang pengetahuan awal terlebih dahulu. Research, explore and collect data, siswa mengumpulkan data-datanya untuk membuat suatu prototype. And the third, discovery, find patterns and rules. And the fourth, application, design, build and test. And communication, explain, presentation, evaluate, and revise. Okay. Yes. The next, yes, a transformation geometry, translation, reflection, rotation, and dilatation. Yeah. This is a definition of part transformation geometry. And okay. Okay, this is for example a model PJBL STEM in the first phase reflection gitu ya. Ketika siswa diberikan suatu masalah terkait jembatan gitu ya. Seorang guru gitu sebagai seorang fasilitator dan merangsang pengetahuan awal siswa gitu ya dari gambar jembatan gitu ya. What repeats where is the symmetry, which parts have equal spacing, what changes in orientation, what might be called. And siswa untuk akhirnya menjawab terkait pertanyaan-pertanyaan tersebut dari guru, maka siswa perlu mengumpulkan data atau research gitu ya. And the next fase research, students observe, compare, and guru sebagai fasilitator tadi memberikan question. Di sini siswa mengobservasi gitu ya, plot points, move the figure, records image, compare coordinates, distance, angles. And setelah siswa mengumpulkan seluruh data tersebut, baru siswa akhirnya menemukan gitu ya, menemukan generalize, express the coordinate pattern as a rule, predict, apply the proposed rule to a new point or figure. The third, verify, compare the prediction with the geometric results, and the back, find and correct assign, ordered, center, or scale factor errors. And setelah siswa akhirnya menemukan gitu ya, baru akhirnya di tahap mengaplikasikan dari pemahaman-pemahaman dari jenis-jenis transformasi geometri tersebut. Dan siswa berlanjut untuk menguji prototipe yang sudah dibuat, kemudian menjelaskan bagaimana proses pembuatannya, mengumpulkan datanya, sampai akhirnya membuat suatu prototipe jembatan yang menurut siswa tersebut itu akan kokoh dan stabil dan mampu untuk menahan suatu beban. Kemudian juga apa perbandingan dari jembatan yang dibuat dengan jembatan yang dia cari sebelumnya pada data-data yang dia cari dulu sebelumnya di tahap sebelum application tadi ya, di tahap research. Kemudian akan memberikan evaluasi apa yang perlu diperbaiki. And dari sintaks tadi, dari 5 fase tadi gitu ya, the syntax is transferable when the concept genuinely informs a decisions. Di sini ada konsep memilih konsep dengan hubungan siswa yang bisa siswa itu investigasi. Kemudian masalahnya pilih masalah yang autentik gitu ya dengan pola berpikir siswa, usia siswa, kemudian decision, identifikasi keputusan apa yang tidak bisa dijustifikasi tanpa matematika, dan evidence mendefinisikan representasi dan berikan alasan siswa harus menghasilkan prototipe tersebut. Kemudian PJBL STEM, this is 6 tahapan ya tadi ya, bukan 6 tahapan ya, 6 prinsip ya, learning concept, authentic problem, engineering decision, representation, test criteria, learning evidence. Dan di tahapan ini penjelasan terkait reflection, research, discovery, application, communication. Reflection, what context will make the mathematical relationship worth noticing? The research, what data, example, or representation will student investigate? And discovery, what pattern or rule should students be able to generalize? Application, which design decision must be justified using the rule? Communication, what evidence will student test, explain, compare, and revise? And beberapa materi yang bisa akhirnya untuk diimplementasikan dengan menggunakan model PJBL STEM. For example, proportional reasoning, scale model shelter, choose dimension using scale and materials, constraints, statistic, school service redesign, use center, spread, and distribution to justify a decision, function, water tank or RAM system, geometry, efficient packaging. Okay. Assessment framework, the first conceptual accuracy are the mathematical relationships correct. The second representation are diagram, data, graphs, equation, or models appropriate. And the third decision quality is the design choice supported by mathematical evidence. And the fourth testing and revision, did students use results to improve the solutions? The fifth communication, can they explain assumptions, trade-off, and limitation? And teachers, the first prompt asks what changed, what remained, and why. The second press for evidence requires a representation or calculation, not only an opinion. And the third delay telling allow comparison and conjecture before formalizing the rule. And the fourth scaffold selectively support the next step without removing the intellectual work. And the fourth normalized revision treat error analysis as evidence of learning, not failure. Okay. Okay, let me close with one central message: keep mathematics visible before, during, and after the engineering projects. Before construction, students explore, compare, and construct transformation concept. During design, they represent and justify decisions mathematically. After testing, students explain, evaluate, debug, and revise. When this happens, the goal is better mathematical thinking, drove the experience students of developing that bridge. Thank you very much. And I want to show you my research with my students to develop a prototype, a bridge. Yeah. Sorry. saya mau share screen terkait dari hasil-hasil pekerjaan siswa ketika siswa mempelajari materi transformasi geometri dan membuat prototipe jembatan itu setelah siswa memahami materi konsep transformasi geometri tersebut. Dan siswa ketika merancang ini setelah siswa mengumpulkan tadi data gitu ya di tahap research dan siswa tidak menggunakan smartphone gitu kan untuk di tahap fase application-nya. Jadi di situ mereka berpikir secara matematis bagaimana posisi, nanti mereka juga menjelaskan di mana letak posisi reflection-nya, kemudian uh, translation-nya, rotation-nya seperti itu. Mungkin kalau dilatation belum ada. Seperti itu mungkin ya. Oke, thank you very much. So, saya kembalikan lagi ke Pak Chairi Rizky. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Faiza Nurita. Is a very insightful presentation and very good presentation about STEM education, yeah. And my name is Bill Khairi. Yeah, it's a very English person, right? Okay,
Okay, thank you.
so yeah. Okay, now we move to a question and answer session. So maybe some of you has question for Miss Faiza. Please, you can raise your hand or you can open your mic. Ya, bisa dibuka saja mic-nya Bapak Ibu barangkali. Yeah, okay. Please, Miss Fitria Pujawati, you can open your mic.
Okay, sure. Can you hear my voice clearly?
Yes, yes, very clear.
Okay, thank you for the confirmation. Yeah, my name is Fitria Pujawati. I'm a master student of mathematics education. This is my first year, so yeah, I'm a new student in mathematics education. It's nice to be here with so many researchers. And I'd like to thank Ms. Faiza Nurwita for your great presentation. Um, I'm curious, and I'd like to ask you about something that from the presentation that you give us, you took geometry transformation as an example, which is yeah, it is common to taken by an example, and for your syntax, can this syntax apply to another mathematics domain, more complex and more abstract. For example, calculus. Is this syntax can apply for this complex domain of mathematics, or the syntax still constrict for several mathematics domain? That's my question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Miss Fitria Pujawati. It's a very good question. Can you take it, Miss Faiza? You would like to answer right now?
Oke, thank you. Mau izin jasa menggunakan bahasa Indonesia ya, Miss Fitria Pujawati. Oke, nggak apa-apa ya, Pak Bill Chairi
Yes, yes.
Rizky.
Nggak apa-apa, nggak apa-apa.
Oke, terkait domain atau materi terkait selain dari geometri transformasi contohnya seperti kalkulus gitu ya untuk diimplementasikan dengan model project based learning yang terintegrasi dengan STEM. Untuk beberapa materi yang saya pelajari juga dari beberapa studi empiris ataupun dari beberapa literatur, memang tidak semua matematika itu bisa menggunakan dengan model ini. Jadi untuk mengkaitkan model PJBL STEM ini tergantung karakteristik materinya. Maka biasanya dalam penelitian-penelitian pengembangan itu ada yang namanya studi pendahuluan gitu ya terkait karakteristik siswa, karakteristik materinya, bagaimana materi itu diajarkan di dalam kelas seperti itu. Kemudian juga terkait kalkulus ya. Kalau kalkulus itu sebenarnya kalau dalam ini pengetahuan pribadi ya, kalau untuk diimplementasikan dalam kehidupan, karena kan biasanya PJBL STEM itu memang beririsan dengan pendekatan kontekstual, kemudian juga berkaitan dengan eh, kehidupan sehari-hari students ya. Jadi harus bersesuaian dengan pengalaman si students itu gitu. Jadi kalau misal kalkulus itu ada di tahap biasanya SMA atau mahasiswa dan mahasiswanya pun biasanya engineer gitu ya. Itu biasa dikontekskan pada industri kalau misalnya udah di tahap universitas atau perguruan tinggi untuk penerapan proyeknya gitu. Karena saya juga beberapa punya kenalan yang beliau itu dosen engineering ya di teknik fisika, kemudian di teknik sipil, kemudian di teknik elektronika dan kalkulus itu sangat terpakai sekali gitu dalam penerapan dalam saya juga nggak paham gitu ya seperti apa penerapannya, cuman konteksnya itu dalam penerapan dunia industri. Jadi itu nanti keahliannya di bidang profesi lagi seperti itu. Nah, jadi kalau untuk pembelajaran di sekolah karena fokus riset saya kemarin ada di sekolah menengah pertama, jadi disesuaikan dengan pengalaman belajar siswa di kehidupan sehari-harinya. Dan saat itu pembelajaran transformasi geometri ini merupakan materi yang baru untuk siswa SMP. Jadi memang di kurikulum 2013 ya, saya penelitiannya masih pakai kurikulum 2013, siswa masih di tahap untuk kompetensi dasar sama indikator pencapaian kompetensinya itu memang untuk memahami konsep-konsep transformasi geometri mulai dari translasi, refleksi, rotasi, dan dilatasi itu baru sebatas di titik ya, titik. Jadi objek geometrinya itu titik, bukan garis, bukan yang lain-lainnya kayak gitu. Jadi bagaimana juga memahami konsep transformasi geometri itu dalam kehidupan kontekstual. Seperti itu Mbak Fitria. Semoga menjawab dan semoga bermanfaat juga. Kira-kira relate gak antara pertanyaan dengan jawaban? Terima kasih.
Oke,
Bagaimana Mbak
ya.
Fitria?
Okay,
Boleh
thank you
dijawab
so
Mbak
much.
Fitria.
Thank you for the answer, Miss Faiza. Jadi memang harus melihat juga bagaimana karakteristik dari materinya dan juga
Ya,
kondisi siswanya ya, ketika kita
ya.
ingin memilih sintaks. Baik, terima kasih banyak.
Oh ya, sintaks yang dikembangkan ini berdasarkan dari teori Laboirage. Boleh nanti
Oh,
teman-teman
bagus.
gitu ya Laboirage. Kalau yang saya pelajari baru menjelaskan secara definit ya, maksudnya definisi operasional. Namun pada akhirnya kita sebagai peneliti atau sebagai teacher atau sebagai lecturer itu nanti mengondisikan sesuai dengan bagaimana membuat suatu desain atau model pembelajarannya, aktivitas pembelajaran dalam model itu. Gitu, terima kasih.
Baik, tadi teori siapa, Ibu? Bentar. Nanti bisa saya pelajari lebih dalam.
Laboirage.
Oke, terima kasih. Dikembalikan ke Pak MC.
Terima kasih.
Okay, thank you very much for Miss Fitria and also our speaker, Miss Faiza. It's very good conversation and question and answer. Is there any question again? I think we can open for one more question. Okay. Okay, yeah, I think it's very clear, and because we have very little time for this afternoon, because our seminar is not over yet, yeah, because after this we have a parallel session, so I think we can conclude this presentation. So first, for Ms. Faiza, because you open the presentation, maybe you want to close it first. Maybe a closing statement or anything.
Enough.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for Miss Faiza. Please give applause to Miss Faiza Nurwita.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that bring us to the end of the guest speaker session this afternoon. I would like to thank and appreciate Ms. Nurrizki Hassana and Ms. Faiza Nurwita for sharing their research experience and valuable insight with us. Thank you very much. But as I say before, our seminar is not over yet. Yeah, because after this, all presenters and participants are invited to continue to the parallel sessions in their respective breakout rooms. I think the committee share it in a WhatsApp group. Yeah, you can choose any breakout rooms for the participant, but for the presenter, you have to enter the right breakout rooms. So please make sure that you enter the breakout room that assigned to you. As for me, this marks the end of my duty as the master of ceremony and moderator for this guest speaker session. It has been a pleasure to accompany you this afternoon. So enjoy the rest of the seminar, and I wish all presenters a successful presentation. Thank you and good afternoon. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ya. Mangga, silahkan Bapak Ibu boleh bergabung di breakout room-nya ya masing-masing ya. Dan kepada Bapak Ibu partisipan yang tidak presentasi boleh masuk yang mana saja silahkan. Ada room 1 dan ada room 2. Jadi silahkan dipilih saja Bapak Ibu. Ya. Dan iya, dan untuk operator boleh sisanya di joinkan saja ke breakout room 1 atau breakout room 2 ya. Gitu. Ini untuk apa namanya partisipan sisanya ya. Silahkan.